All right, this is MS Office Hours. Today is August 15th, 2019. Today, Mr. Perlman and I have the privilege of introducing Rob Hirschman here from Projility, who's going to talk to us a little bit about Microsoft Project and that overall platform, where it's at today and kind of where it's going. So, Rob, thanks for joining us. I'll let you take it away, bud. Rob, we can see your screen. We just can't hear you at the moment. You're on mute.
Yep. Can you hear me now? Sorry about that.
Yeah, we got you.
Button. So, absolutely. Great. We're excited to present to the community. It's been fun listening for the last 30 minutes. Sounds like it's a real lively community. We're going to try to talk to you about a really lively topic today, which is Microsoft Project, something most people don't consider lively, but we're going to try to keep it interesting. Quick agenda. I think we've got, 25 minutes, Preston? Is that right?
Yeah, we've got that'd be great.
Okay. We'll just give you 2 or 3 minutes on who the heck we are. We'll give you a quick set of case studies on some other organizations in the education space that are actively using this technology, and it's getting much more broadly adopted as we speak. We'll kind of walk through some examples of what's new with Project Online, some different functionality you may not know is there in some of the technology you've already invested in. Everybody has questions about licensing, so we'll walk through some the licensing model and how the licensing works. People have questions around that. And then if you're interested in evaluating for your enterprise, what some of the key steps are there. So please jump in if you have any questions. Introduction, my name is Rob Hirschman. I'm actually with a Microsoft Gold PPM or Project Portfolio Management partner called Projility. We've spent our life over the last 15 years implementing the Microsoft Project Management Suite for large enterprises across different industries. We've got a couple of offices around the U.S. Most importantly, we've been implementing this solution for universities, for higher education, for K-12. That's been a core part of our business over the last 14 years. Everybody from Tulane University, who, when Noel Wong came in and as the CIO about a year and a half ago, wanted to put a consistent project management methodology and portfolio management technology in place. We implemented for them. St. Louis University, which we deployed about a year ago, Minnesota Mankato, Johns Hopkins, lots of higher education as well as K-12 organizations are using this technology today. And what we're really talking about today is leveraging technology that's a part of the Office 365 cloud. So as you've deployed Azure, you've got ADFS in place, you've got Office 365 with SharePoint and Teams. Microsoft PPM or Project Online is another work stream that can add value by lighting up the technology, by spending some time planning it based off of your project management and business needs. It integrates with tools like Power BI, and it can integrate with tools like Azure DevOps, which we'll show you some examples of. It's going to really play along with the entire suite of investments you have. So you have all the safety and security of a secure Microsoft cloud solution, but you're able to enable project and portfolio and resource management functionality, which is what a lot of organizations need today. Just to give you a quick overview, there's 2 different areas of Project Online. Most people think of it as, hey, it's just project on the web or project in the cloud. Not really. It's actually a full-featured, full-fidelity PPM solution that provides both top-down portfolio management. So if you think about doing your IT governance, your demand management, your portfolio prioritization, everything you need to do to make decisions on what projects you're going to invest in. And then the bottoms-up day-to-day blocking and tackling of project management, building schedules, tracking work, tracking time, and doing project reporting. PPM really brings all this together, and it's really important that you determine what your requirements are so you can deploy the right components. So Project Online is that software as a service-based PPM solution that comes through the Office 365 cloud. To begin with, it does provide portfolio management. This is what most CIOs and directors of IT or directors of operations are looking for, the ability to go into one place and see the full inventory of all the projects you have, to put those into portfolios, to put them into programs, understand the health and status and risk and all the KPIs in one place. So one of the nice features of Project Online, it provides web-based views and web-based dashboards into this information. And then you can start doing your fiscal planning. You can start doing kind of above the line, below the line. What projects should I do that give us the best business value, that give best business value to the university, to the community, to our organization, and to our customers internally and externally. So when you think about Project Online, think of kind of the leading edge of that is portfolio management capability. Resource management. This is a clear pain point for most organizations we work with today. In fact, 98% of them name it as their top priority. The ability to look across all the resources you have working for your IT department or your organization as a whole and understand what's the workload, the utilization, the capacity, and the demand, and start to determine, do I have the right people or do I need more people, or is work poorly staged? And then you can build a queue and have a heat map that shows you when you have the most requests coming in, who's requesting all the people, what people do you have with the right skills. So resource management is another area. If this is a pain point you have as an organization, the Project Online is a great solution that can address this kind of requirement. We're going to take a couple questions here at the end. Collaboration has always been a part of Project Online. It's really glued together. It's partnered with SharePoint. So as you deploy Project Online, you also get SharePoint. And the great thing about that is you have a single collaboration hub where you can share issues and documents. You can do change control. You can apply flows to different things, escalate a risk to an issue or an issue to management to get approval. So it really leverages all of the goodness of the Microsoft 365 platform, but also Teams. We have more organizations that are leveraging Teams, like we're doing on this presentation today, and providing Teams as a wrapper on top of your project management environment to get that visibility, to look at planner plans, schedules in Microsoft Project Online, document libraries that are in SharePoint, Azure DevOps boards and task boards and Agile projects. So it's really, Teams is a great enabler for your project management solution. One of the things we're seeing a lot of universities adopt now is better, more consistent project management methodologies and processes. The really great thing about the Office 365 suite, it provides a lot of tools that can help with that. So Project Online is a part of it, but also Visio Online and SharePoint Online. And this is an example of a PMO homepage that's been embedded in Project Online. So you have easy access to a common methodology. So you can very quickly drill in and understand details on your process and your methodology for planning and managing projects. The value here is it gets your process or your methodology out of a binder on a shelf that nobody uses into a digital technology that is automated. So everybody knows the process to follow. Everybody's on the same page, and it's fully integrated into your overall environment. So this is where we're leveraging Visio Online, SharePoint Online, Project Online, all working together to really have a consistent set of content. Web-based scheduling, everybody knows about Microsoft Project as a great scheduling engine. That scheduling capability is now available through a browser. We've gotten a lot of feedback, especially even before this call. Hey, can I go build schedules on the web? Can I get updates from my team members? Absolutely. That all comes through the Project Web App browser interface where you can go in, build a schedule, assign resources, baseline. It can be as simple or complex as you want. So you don't have to be a professional project manager to go in and do this kind of stuff. In fact, there's some things coming in the next 6 months which are really exciting updates to the platform and the service that are going to enable better access for your kind of accidental project managers. And we're going to be talking about that in the next couple months. But we also see Planner integration for those organizations that are adopting Planner as kind of a light project management tool or a kind of step-up task management tool. You can go into Projects, you can click on the button that says Link to Planner, and you can actually take your activities from a project schedule, push them down to a Planner plan. That way people in your marketing or operations or finance team can just understand the activities they need to work on so they can complete those, and then the project manager can manage the overall project schedule. So you take complexity away from the people who really don't need it and use the Office 365 suite and some of the great technology to do this stuff.
Hey, so
and then
can I
dashboards.
jump in real quick before you go on past that? That's something I get a lot of questions about from people in this community in particular, is how they can utilize Planner in their formal project plans. And so make sure we caught what you said. The project managers can build this whole thing out with their standard Gantt chart views and all the details that they want, and then publish to Planner. And they can just have that plan embedded in a team or on the mobile planner app, all of that for the individual users who need to update those tasks. And that'll feed back into the project manager's view, correct?
Yeah, Preston, you're about 95% right. So that's exactly it. Think of it as the PM owns the overall schedule. They click Link to Planner, and you can link specific activities in a schedule down to a specific planner plan. So I can have 8 or 10 tasks in here that are linked to different planner plans, so the people in those different groups have visibility into those activities. The updates, it's not a round robin at this point, though. Okay. Planner doesn't capture actual work at this point, but there's some updates coming, and there's some actually bolt-ons that allow you to do that as well. So that round robin isn't there yet, but out of the box, we can push from project down to planner right now.
Thank you for clarifying that. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a really cool integration point, and we're seeing, more integration between these tools as Microsoft has greater investment in it. So, reporting, this is a huge ask for most of our customers. How do we go in and get dashboards and automated reporting? Power BI takes data right out of Project Online, and then we can do dashboards and analytics and reports like the one you see on the screen that are very visual, very easy for executives to understand. We have some executives and CIOs that actually put these up on monitors in their IT meetings, and they pull them up and they pull in live information on their projects. The really cool thing is we can automate status reporting. So we have the project managers update their information in Project Online, and then we go in, we just click one button, and we generate an automated status report from the system in Power BI. Power BI is absolutely awesome because we can auto-publish these and say, subscribe these 10 people to this status report and send it out to them every Monday at 9 o'clock. So it's actually an automated way to drive status reporting. So you move PMs away from spending a day or two building a status report manually, keep the data up to date, and you have consistent reporting. And this is a huge, huge win for most organizations. Preston, I don't know if you have thoughts on that, but we're seeing a great adoption of Power BI right now across the community.
Sorry, now I'm the one stuck on mute. No, you're absolutely right. And this is a big one we just were talking about last week, was using Power BI specifically to start tracking adoption of this platform overall. And so I think as a community, we're all starting to figure out ways to better look at the data and how to use it. And so I think this is one for sure, especially for those folks who have A5, we're seeing Power BI really being adopted a lot in their organizations.
Yep, and we've kind of addressed the use case of project and portfolio management. So we've got some templates and some reports like the ones you see here that we can kind of drop in there, and you can get immediate value from the two tools working together. That's the idea.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, one of the other things we're finding is education. Education is moving just from in terms of educating your IT staff and your user base from let's get face-to-face to more online learning. So what we've done is we've spent a lot of time kind of developing training videos and learning educational information, and that's embedded in Stream now. So if you can imagine going to your PPM environment or whatever environment, going to your learning area, and then having a listing of videos that are all going to play on demand for your end users with all the transcription. This leverages the goodness of Stream, which most customers with E3 and E5 already have, and we're just embedding technology in there that drives better use and adoption of the Project Online platform. So think of it that way, another way you can leverage this technology. And something new that was actually released by Microsoft about 6-7 months ago is a road mapping capability. So if you have project information in your project management system, maybe you've got information in Azure DevOps, which we'll talk about in a second, your development work, there's actually a road mapping tool that's now built into Project Online that allows you to go in, take information from any of those projects and surface them visually in a single visual roadmap. We're finding a lot of demand for this at a CIO or CFO level where they want to see just a subset of information very quickly and easily, and road mapping is a great capability that's part of Project Online.
Hey, Preston, I got a question in regards to road mapping.
Yeah.
Is that feature available for the educational tenants with 365 and Project Online?
Not at this time. It will be coming to education, but unless that's just changed, and Rob may be more aware of it than I am, but I talked to the product group a few weeks ago and it still was not available to EDU.
Right. I have a project manager that's kind of putting that whole thing on hold because she wants Project Online and she wants this roadmap feature, and she's over here having a fit. So,
well, I'll tell you who. So in response to that, we actually have some Power BI reports that come very close to exactly what you see here today. So if that's an impediment for you right now, reach back out and we can provide you some examples of some reports that can give you very similar functionality today.
Yeah, so hey, just to jump in here for a minute, because this came up, the reason why we brought Rob on to talk about this stuff, and Dave and I didn't try to just pull somebody in from our normal community to try to do this, is what Rob and Projility do is monumental. To be able to come in and help you guys figure out how to get the specific things out of this that you want is big. Microsoft Project is it's sort of a platform, right? And once you work with them about how they can access the data and give you the custom views or the custom information that you need, that's usually a whole lot more beneficial than just the raw platform that Microsoft produces. So just a quick plug in the middle of your presentation here, Rob, but I do encourage you guys to just reach out. It doesn't cost you anything to talk to Rob and to find out how they can help you guys with more than just, turning this stuff on.
Thank you, Preston. And that's a good segue. I mean, people typically come to us when they have a hard time explaining what's going on in their projects. They don't know what resources are working on what, and they can't get good, consistent reporting. And they're looking to leverage the Microsoft platform. And it's really a big part of it is really sitting down and really understanding what you're looking to achieve, and then planning out the technology in a way that meets those requirements. And that's really our job. It's to really make your life easy and help transition you to more of an enterprise project management environment. So thanks for the pitch, Preston. A lot of organizations we work with also have moved to supporting waterfall and agile. projects. Agile is a big push. Obviously, there's a lot of change going on with Agile, and Agile projects are managed much differently than traditional waterfall projects, right? They're really run by the development teams in a series of sprints and iterations with epics on top of those and features. Microsoft Project now at a desktop level has the ability to track Agile sprints and iterations, but that's a starting point for it. What we found is most organizations want a little more than that. They want kind of enterprise reporting over that. They want the ability to go in and say, just show me a report on my Agile projects and show me the pillars, the strategic themes, the products. They're moving to more of a product-centric methodology. So we've actually done a lot of work with a lot of organizations that have adopted Agile, whether it's Safe Agile or a blend of Agile and Waterfall, we kind of call WAGILE or Scrumfall, to drive better reporting, setting up methodologies in Project Online, integrating it with Azure DevOps, doing things you'd need to do to really have a solid Agile environment as you're driving Agile throughout your enterprise. So if you are moving in the direction of Agile and you do need some assistance and guidance, know that Project Online is a piece of that overall puzzle. And then we also use, as you see here, Power BI to drive a lot of that reporting. What's become really big across the community is integration. So it's great that you've got a project management system in Office 365, but you've got other tools out there. This is a reality. I think there was a little bit of a battle before about Android versus Apple on the phone, right? Well, we've got Azure DevOps for your development community, for test plans and requirements management. A lot of organizations are adopting Jira as well. And Jira is a technology very similar to Azure DevOps. It does very similar things. Some organizations are using ServiceNow for IT service management and help desk. And other organizations are using PeopleSoft as their HR management. What we're finding is there's a lot of requirements once you have a good foundational project management system in place to integrate that data, to integrate Jira or Azure DevOps so I have a view of the developer's world and I can still do my portfolio and resource management and cost management in one place. Or maybe I'm doing my intake in ServiceNow, and I want, when something becomes a project, I want to manage it in Project Online. Well, we can move the data from ServiceNow into Project Online and actually bring it back as well. So we have a single source of the truth in either system. A lot of organizations use PeopleSoft for human resource management and cost management. We can, again, take that data and synchronize it back and forth. Microsoft has an API, web services-based API, where we can move the data in and out. So, if you're thinking about, hey, how can I make project work with other systems? Our firm and a lot of firms have experience actually integrating it with some of the tools you see on the screen today. And then finally, one of the big requests we get from a lot of organizations is we're thinking about going down this project management route, but what about DevOps and how do these tools work together? The reality is they're built with a little different purpose. Obviously, a project and portfolio management system helps you with your portfolio management, your planning, your execution. But then when you're in Azure DevOps, you're going to be tracking sprints and iterations and all the development work and the code management and all the test management. So what we've done is we've actually come up with more of an accelerator that pulls the two worlds together. So what you'll see on your screen here is Microsoft Project and your project schedule. And then on the left side, we actually have a drop-down where you can actually synchronize work items in your schedule with work items that are in Azure DevOps. The purpose of this, and there's a service running behind the scenes, is actually to provide synchronization and visibility, so it's a one-to-one at the level you want to track. So it's not everything. It's either features or user stories or epics, whatever level that is. The project manager wants to know when things are going to get done and what resources are required to do the work. The Agile teams are going to go and do their level of detail and do all their development and keep that up to date. You don't need all that information. You need it at more of a summarized level. So we have some customers we've worked with, and we've developed some technology as a service that'll actually sit in Project, but actually the technology is a service that sits in Azure that actually pushes and pulls data between the two systems. So if you're going down the road of doing DevOps and Project and you're interested, we have some solutions here that may be relevant. And everybody wants to know about licensing. What are the licenses? What do I own? Just to give you a quick explanation of this, there's 3 licenses for Microsoft Project Online now. There's what we call Project Online Essentials, which is on the left side. This is for your team members who are going to be task updating, issue and risk management, doing any kind of time tracking and collaboration. That's license 1. That's kind of the lowest level license. Your license 2 is Project Online Professional, which is for your project managers who are going to build on top of that to build schedules, assign resources, track work, and do status reporting. And then the 3rd tier of license is called Project Online Premium. This is for your executives, your managers, your portfolio managers, anybody that sits at a higher level that wants to do any portfolio management, any demand management, any workflow approvals, any resource management, or any portfolio reporting. So when you think about the licenses, these are all designed to work with the service. While the Project Online Professional license comes with a desktop client, it can work without the certain Project Online service. The other two licenses require the service because the Project Online service is what's storing and delivering all the functionality that we showed you in the last couple of slides. So before we go forward, I want to see if anybody has any questions about licensing. Is always a big question. So. Wow, no licensing questions, Preston. Amazing.
Yeah, hold on. There's some coming.
Here we go. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
All right. For the agile piece that you're talking about, is that actually considered in Project Professional, or do you need to really go to the premium to start seeing agile in Project?
It's a really good question. So if you're just doing project synchronization between a project schedule and an Azure DevOps project, Project Professional will do fine. That's the license for that. You'll need that project desktop client to do some of that. Premium is when you're aggregating that to a higher level and doing any of those reports and dashboards and more portfolio level reporting.
Okay. Yeah, because we actually were looking at project and our project managers said, no, this doesn't do Agile properly. And they were actually using Azure DevOps as our project management tool right now. Because they created some custom boards and did all that. But I know they kind of want to tie all this together with the higher end reporting. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it's a good question. So the reality is the tools are designed to do different things. One is a project management tool, and one is more of a developer suite. With that said, you've got the need to plan and roll up projects in both systems, right? So the key is really coming up with how you're managing your Agile projects, how you want to manage your traditional waterfall, and how you want to roll up Agile and waterfall together. It's more of a methodology question than a tool question, but we can make the tools work within different methodologies, if that makes sense. There's not one way to answer that question, unfortunately, because everybody does it a little bit differently.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, but Project is not an Agile tool, and we never pretended for it to be one. DevOps is the tool your Agile teams will work on a day-to-day basis, but you may want to surface that information to do your resource planning and your project planning.
Okay. And then there was another question on where can we find a list of third-party system integrations? Sure of the answer to that one, Tony.
Yeah, it's not really out there, unfortunately. That's kind of held depending on who your integrator is and the work that we've all done with different customers. So, everybody's done different work in this area. If you need specific examples or you have specific systems, you can shoot over an email and we'll give you some examples and let you know where has it been done with that system before.
Well, I don't see any other questions right now. So that's great.
Good. Now I'll wrap up here. So just a couple things. If you are looking at using Project Online, there's some value to that. And if you have outcomes in mind, like improving the accuracy and timeliness of projects, a lot of people want to reduce the cost of project management. They say, it's everywhere. We have lots of people managing projects. We don't have it all in one system. We know it's costing us too much money. A central PPM solution can help. If you have executives or you're looking for better visibility and insight and controls across all your projects and work in one system, that's what these systems are really good at. But a big driver here is resource utilization. What are people working on? How do I know what they have upcoming in their queues? And how do I do capacity planning? Project Online is a great system for doing that kind of stuff. And then finally, when you cite those dashboards, that on-demand performance reporting, how many projects do I have that are late? What's behind schedule? What's really behind schedule? What are my top risks? That visibility is what tools like Power BI and Project Online with good process and implementation can really get you. So if you're looking for these kind of outcomes, consider this platform. And then finally, the last slide, if you're interested in engaging, whether you're going through an evaluation, we can set up a solution demonstration and demonstrate how the solution can meet your requirements. We do CIEs, so if you're familiar with the cloud immersion experiences where you come in for a half day and get your team immersed in the technology in a hands-on way and give you a leave behind to use the system for a while. We also have regular recurring webinars, which Preston will send you out links to. So if you're in an evaluation phase, think of us. If you're actually moving forward with assessing and planning the tools, we can do scoping and a planning engagement. But if you're actually in the phase, hey, we want to deploy this stuff, get in touch. We have implementation and training services. We do a lot of the systems integration. We have these accelerators like the Azure DevOps Connection Accelerator, some of the reporting ones you saw. finally, if you're already live and you're looking for assistance, we do have a dedicated help desk organization called Expert Care that just supports PPM. We also help with process consulting. But we do have an entire library of recorded content on all of these topics on our Vimeo channel, which is listed here. I think there's about 14 different, 30 to 45-minute videos on different topics around PPM and around PPM-related processes. So, if you'd like to get in touch with us, here's our information. You can hit our website. You can reach out to me. I'm Rob at Projility.com, and we're really excited to work with you and your team. So I think that's about what we had today.
Awesome, Rob. I really, truly appreciate it. And guys, I'm going to encourage all of you to grab a screen capture or write this down. Whether you need Rob's help today or not, you will at some point. The volume of requests that I'm getting around project management in education, especially higher ed, is beyond what I anticipated. Right. So there is a ton of interest coming from other folks in your organizations to myself and my peers around Planner and Project Online and the new Project Service, which is things like Roadmap and all of that, which Rob did a great job of covering. But people are looking for, how do these things all fit together? How do I get it to do this one thing? Kind of like Greg was asking about. And odds are I'm going to connect you back up with Rob when you reach out to me anyway. So definitely take note of this, and we will have this recording available to you guys as well. Rob, thanks, bud. I appreciate it.
Can I ask one question?
Of course.
Sure.
Is there any integration at all with Team Dynamics?
Team Dynamics.
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay.
No, what does that tool do?
That's there's multiple modules. There's like a help desk, case management, asset inventory, project management module, and so on.
I don't think we've run into that one before. We have done work with, help desk applications like Heat and ServiceNow and Remedy. So if it's something similar to that, it's definitely possible as long as they have an API. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my pleasure.
Excellent.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Well, with that then, Rob, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you so much for your time today.
It's great meeting everybody on the